but I kind of wanted to give an overview as to the journey of kind of launching a business or setting something up. And first and foremost, it's so good to have a plan in place. That there is the question of whether, you know, planning versus doing. So you can spend years planning and never actually doing something, but it's so important. Like, for example, if you have a fee, it's worth measuring, you know, how much you've achieved where there's nothing scheduled, and you just kind of go for a free fall, see how much you achieve, and see how much more you can achieve when you actually, you know, slot things in and say, right, you know, here's what I intend to do, here's the plan, here's the people I'm going to speak to, here's how I'm going to do it, etc. So it's so important to have that plan, have that vision of where you want your business to go, and have that vision. It's so important to, you know, imagine yourself in 5-10 years time. You know, are you still going to be in this business? Or are you going to sell it? Are you going to retire? Are you going to, you know, employ people to do your job, and then kind of, you know, come in once a day, once a week, or etc. etc. So it's so important to have that vision in mind. And as I mentioned earlier, the exit strategy to, you know, exactly what I just said. You know, whether you're going to retire, come in one day a week, sell the business, or kind of, it's so important to have that plan in mind. And then the other thing, which is fundamental, is if not to make the business you dependent. It's so important to a lot of business owners make the mistake of the entire business model relying upon them. So if something was to ever happen to them, that the business kind of collapses around them. So it's so important to put processes and measures in place that literally anyone can come in and pick up a manual and be like, oh, right, you know, this is how I do this section of business. This is how I do this element. This is how I produce this product, or this how I deliver this service. And of course, you can still have, you know, your face, your personality, or your individualities can still be kind of, you know, part of the business, and you can kind of, you know, put them into processes that people can pick up and do carry out those philosophies that you yourself have. But it's so important not to have this is where I see a lot of businesses collapsing, because it's based on entirely one individual and that one individual's relationship with customers. I'm not saying that that's not important at all, but it's important that anyone can pick up the job or service or product that you produce, to be able to deliver it, to give you that respite, and be able to kind of afford you the time to step down, have a holiday, enjoy time with family, etc. etc. So yes, plan a business not as a part of you, but as a separate part of you. You know, you can walk in and walk out of. The other thing that's really important is devising your separate entity, your business. Have define what that business is. You know, it's essentially the brand. You know, what's the tone of voice? What's the message? What is the personality of this business? How does this business engage with the local community? It's important to set that out. Have the objectives in place. You know, what do you want to achieve from this business? Going back to the vision, whether it's, you know, £1 million, whether it's buying a castle, whether it's you know, creating jobs for the local community, and, you know, employing 30 people. Have those objectives in mind, and then breaking them down into what you do on a smaller scale. So you've got those core elements,